It seems like all we hear about is delays these days. Not one release can keep its promise, and reasons are not always fair or clear. With John Wick 4 delayed until 2023, we're all feeling a bit defeated. But maybe Bullet Train is 2022's perfect John Wick 4 replacement. Let's find out how it could hold up later in this video. But first, why was John Wick delayed again? Fans are universally disappointed with the news that Chapter 4 of John Wick hasn't just been delayed, it's been pushed back almost an entire year. While most will understand that there have been influences out of everyone's control that have seen most movies run into several delays, some are no longer pleased when it's a pushback of this magnitude, especially when no real explanation has been given by the distributor itself. The news that the new John Wick will be released on March 24, 2023 was released through a short video that seemed to be making use of mostly old footage as well. But other than a new date, no other information has been brought forward to give us some understanding. It's still very possible that they simply need more time to bring the movie up to standard, but when looking at some of the facts, it seems more reasonable that they just didn't want John Wick to compete with the just as highly anticipated Top Gun Maverick. Despite John Wick still rating much higher in previously taken polls, who knows what this delay will do to the general morale of its fan base. Top Gun 2 is promising to be stiff competition, so let's hope that John Wick will now take the time to make the wait more than worth it, because with March 2023 being awfully far away, it simply better be. Next, how Sandra Bullock was invited to board Bullet Train. That our favorite stars are secretly all best buddies is of course something we're all dimly aware of, but that doesn't always mean that asking each other to take part in their projects is as clear-cut as picking up the phone and asking them directly. Apparently, Sandra Bullock wasn't approached by Brad Pitt himself or even his people. No, she was convinced by her hairdresser Janine to take the part. As the story goes, Pitt had asked Janine Thompson to give Bullock a call and ask her to do him a favor, which is why Bullock gave him a taste of his own medicine when she wanted to invite Pitt to take part in her movie as well. Thompson has been doing Bullock's hair since the beginning of time and also has the luck to cut Pitt's famous locks as well. So when the time came, Bullock gave Thompson a call and asked her if she could get in Pitt's ear and ask him to take part in Bullock's film, and he agreed. There's nothing sexy about it, Bullock said in an interview on Australia's The Project. Hairstylists hold all the power in Hollywood, so it seems. And now, when can we see Bullet Train? Don't worry, what you'll hear next is not nearly as shocking as the delay of John Wick 4, but Bullet Train was also slightly delayed. Bullet Train was set to be released on July 15, 2022, but has been pushed back 2 weeks to July 29, 2022. The slot opened up after Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam was moved to autumn this year. The movie, which is based on the book Maria Beetle by the author Kotaro Isaka, seems to be carrying the hope of Sony Pictures that it's going to be the last big movie of the summer. And with all those big names that are appearing in Bullet Train, not to mention the hope the audience is hitching onto it as a comfort for the loss of a John Wick movie anywhere this year, they might just pull it off. But Bullet Train will still have to take it up with the horror thriller Vengeance and Paramount's Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. The latter may not seem very relevant, but it would be foolish to underestimate a feel-good family movie. But with Bullet Train having been positioned in the end of summer slot, its chances to become a big hit, especially now John Wick has fallen off the radar, are looking very sunny. Don't go anywhere just yet. We're about to get into what it is about Bullet Train that could prove it to be the perfect John Wick replacement. And no, it's not because they both have the same director, though that certainly has many perks. There's a little bit more to it. And did you know Bullet Train wasn't meant to be a comedy when they first started filming? Next up in the video. Now, Bullet Train wasn't originally a comedy. Aaron Taylor Johnson is one of the many big names that's starring in Bullet Train. Best known for his roles in Kick-Ass and Avengers Age of Ultron, the 31-year-old actor opened up to Andrew Garfield in an interview for Hero magazine about how Bullet Train morphed into what we'll be seeing this summer. According to him, the movie was a rather dark, definitely R-rated, vicious action piece. He added that he had no idea what happened, but it became a comedy. It seems like we should thank his co-star, Brian Tyree Henry, for this subtle change of genre. Taylor Johnson says it's mostly because of his fostering of the comedic atmosphere on the Bullet Train set, with filming taking place in the height of the pandemic, that Bullet Train organically morphed into a comedy. Henry seems to have an immense range in his acting skills, as he showed with his roles in the FX series Atlanta, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And now he is adding to it, not just his own ability to carry comedic content, but left an entire genre with him. We're sure this added layer that grew into the movie without intending to is something that will set it apart from the other action thrillers, and even more reason to see it in the cinemas as soon as it's released. The first reason why Bullet Train could replace John Wick 4, the similarities between John Wick and Bullet Train. Yes, okay, the most obvious tie between Bullet Train and the John Wick franchise is, of course, the director, David Leitch. He co-directed the first John Wick movie, together with Chad Stahelski, but ended up not being credited for it, despite Despite this, the former stuntman had officially made the transition to action filmmaker and didn't look back. Leitch and Stahelski have been on the forefront of a growing number of stunt performers making the transition into directing action movies. And with the huge success Leitch has already gathered with them, there's no doubt his talent will shine through with Bullet Train as well. But there's a little more to it than simply the same director. For instance, Brad Pitt's character, Ladybug, just wants out of the bloody business, just like John Wick does. Its approach to action, which is a blend of gunplay, martial arts, practical stunt work, and improvised weaponry, also borrows heavily from the John Wick franchise. But don't be fooled. With all those tactics, Bullet Train knows how to cut its own path through the world of contemporary action films. But it does have a nice John Wick flavor to it at times, which is why we just might be able to find some comfort in Bullet Train. And forget, if only for a moment, that we're forced to wait almost an entire year to see John Wick again. The second reason why Bullet Train could replace John Wick: the cast is absolutely amazing. David Leitch has an uncanny ability to make any star, no matter how unfamiliar with the world of martial arts, look like born warriors. His own experience as a stuntman may have given him the exact amount of empathy needed to guide his stars to embody any warrior he's envisioning. Especially with the extremely extensive training he makes his stars undergo, is what has made all his movies so far undeniably believable. Combine that with a cast that will make you drool just thinking about it, and we have something truly special. Among those are the ones known to the bigger general audience, like Sandra Bullock, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Joey King, and Michael Shannon. But for the ones among us that are more familiar with action movies, they will perk up when hearing names like Hiroyuki Sanada, who also happens to be starring in John Wick 4, Small World, and Andrew Koji, who are absolutely no stranger to the martial arts. And then we have Karen Fukuhara, which you may recognize from The Boys and Suicide Squad. The wide array of faces will let us indulge in lots of different talents and sets of weaponry, not to mention all of their personal gimmicks. But with that being said, there will be a much bigger emphasis on the more lighthearted and comedic tone than what we're used to from John Wick. Though there are absolutely some moments in John Wick, Bullet Train will be more of an outright action comedy. That was it. Do you think Bullet Train will be a comfort and a good replacement for the delay of John Wick 4? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.